where else would you rather be than right here, right now?
Hey UK Bills Mafia, this is Christian Wade of your Buffalo Bills. This is the Red, White and Buffalo Blues, a UK Bills podcast with your hosts, Matt and Alex. Let's go Buffalo! Woo!
Hello and welcome to another episode of the Red, White and Buffalo Blues, a UK Bills podcast, Bills news with a UK twist. Matt, your host, Alex. Here is your co-host, Alex. How are you adjusting to life back at home for a bit?
Well, I finally adjusted to the time difference. If we had done this show on Tuesday or Wednesday, I would be wide awake because I was waking up at like 6 a.m. Eastern time. But today we're recording at 8:30, and I was out late last night, so I'm pretty exhausted. Thank you for making me do this in the morning.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Yeah.
You're welcome. It's about time that we get some early ones rather than late night podcasts.
Yeah, well, I prefer the late night. But anyway.
We've already had a comment saying that that please can you do more early morning early podcasts rather than ones late at night, so
okay.
Either it's humorous or it's a lot more fun. But anyway, we're not here to talk about what times we're actually we're going to be recording. We're talking about week 3 and the LA Rams making the trip to Western New York and the Bills Stadium. Two teams, 2-0. Something's got to give. Alex, what are you feeling on this game?
Well, before we get into that, I just want to have a quick shout out for the contest that we're running on our YouTube. If our YouTube channel can get 100 subscribers by kickoff on Sunday, I set up a little Bills gift bag of goodies that I've bought while I've been in Buffalo. You can check that out on our Twitter. So if you're not subscribed to us on our YouTube, please do so. You'll have a chance to win a pretty nice gift bag that I put together. So with that said, Bills Rams. Let's just start off with usually how we end. Do you think we're going to win or lose?
I think we're going to win.
Okay. I think we're going to lose, and now we'll talk about why.
Go for it.
So I'll provide my perspective, and then you'll counter.
Okay.
So the first thing is the Bills injury report. So we'll go down the ones that on Thursday did not practice. Mario Addison, but that's just due to rest. But people who are limited, John Brown's got a phantom foot injury. Tremaine Edmonds, as we know, with the shoulder. Taron Johnson limited with a groin. Milano limited with the hamstring. Ed Oliver limited with a knee. Delshon Phillips quad. Zach Moss toe. Dawson Knox concussion. So that's a pretty heavy injury list of question marks. We'll find out today who's going to be questionable or doubtful. But as of right now, those are some players at key positions that are starters that we're going to need.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, okay. I'll give you the injuries are going to be one of those fortes. But you're looking at the fact that you've got Edmund and Milano both actually practicing, and they've actually I think they're both not in their red they're not in the red non-contact jerseys, so they're actually getting out there, they're getting physical in there. So I think that's going to bode well for it. I think out of those, I don't think there's really, apart from those two, really that we need to worry about, other than maybe Johnson. But that's why we've got these call-ups, these practice squad players that you can call up to the active roster, protect for the week, and call up if necessary. So I kind of see.
But they're practice squad players. I mean, there's a reason why they're not on a 53-man roster. So it's not just like you can't replace these guys with those guys and expect the same production.
Well, no, but you still, if you just had it as that, and they didn't have the protected that they can actually call up on the day, then it's just going to get worse. That you're going to have no depth behind it. At least this way, you can at least bring up the players. So you're actually going to be healthy. You're going to be healthy, and you're going to have at least a good depth behind.
I wouldn't say
starters.
good. I wouldn't say good depth. I would just say
Well, okay.
there will be players there.
There will be depth compared to if you couldn't call them up on the Sunday and
Right,
Johnson
yes,
had to
yes.
go
We
out.
have the new rule does make things easier in these situations. So there's that, yeah. But going on to like a statistical breakdown of the matchup, our offenses are very similar. Just the Rams can run the ball. Total yards, in comparison with our previous opponents, the Jets are last with 531 yards. Prior to Thursday night's game, Miami was 22nd with 679 yards. The Rams are 871. So we're having a better offense come in. They're third in the NFL in rushing yards. When you compare that to the Bills' rush offense, which is last in the NFL in expected points. And I talk about expected points a lot. It's Pro Football References stat where they calculate the projected points based off of each play. So each Bills run play combined has netted them a negative for expected points. So that's not great. I'm not a big fan of what it's looking like when we compare against all facets against the Rams. Overall, the Rams offense is ranked third. The Bills are ranked fifth. But the Rams did it against a little bit better opponents. I know Miami looked really good last night, and that changes my hope because I wrote these notes up in the middle of the game, and Miami continued to play really solid against a team where everyone's like, "Oh, Gardner Minshew, look at him doing it."
Yeah.
So Miami's win last night made our win against them look better because Josh Allen annihilated them.
Yes.
So that maybe swings my vote on what this game's going to look like, but the Rams offense is something that we haven't seen before, and that's leading me towards a loss because they are going to be able to attack us through the air, on the ground, jet sweeps, all the crazy stuff.
Yeah, I'll give you that fact that
oh, thank you.
That stats coming in and all that, but then you're looking. Have you actually brought up the stats for where currently the Jets and the Dolphins run defense is?
No, I didn't compare do they have good? I know that the Jets have good run defense, so let me get that.
Obviously we saw it. Obviously we see that their pass defense is their pass offense is probably better of the two at the moment, and we've had a lot more in there. But we've played. Obviously, the Jets always have had a good front four to stopping the run. So I obviously with Josh Allen scrambling a little bit more, obviously those stats were inflated a bit more. Mm-hmm. Dolphins.
So if we ignore the Dolphins because they have 3 games played now, and that's on the website, so the Jets have the 24th worst rush defense in the league.
Okay, and they faced us, and they faced who's the other team they faced? I can't remember now.
San Francisco. They got gashed by San Francisco.
Yeah, pretty much on the first play with that 80-yard run.
Yeah, it was over for them. Yeah.
But yes, you can say that that our rush defense, our rush offense is slow at the moment. Is pretty much non-existent. But it's all about the schemes at the end of the day. I think what the Bills are going to look to take advantage of now is going to be Josh Allen and how we can actually dissect this offense. This offense is now starting to tailor to him. I mean, stats are stats. I mean, I could bring up the fact that the Rams are 3-13 against AFC East opponents since the realignments in 2002. They've got to come from Los Angeles into New York and Buffalo on the day.
That's a good point that you make there because they were in the East Coast last week, so they flew here, then they flew home. Now they're flying back.
Yeah.
That takes as I know, a 7-hour flight takes a toll on someone.
Yeah,
So
I mean, also with the Bills' defense, they've actually only allowed 18 receiving touchdowns since 2019. That's the second fewest in the NFL. And you've got Goff who you'll probably be slinging it to Woods, Carp, Higbee, and all that. You know that you've got a defense that can shut them down. Obviously, we need Levi Wallace to step up on there, which I think he may well do. But it's going to be a very interesting game. But I still think that with Diggs probably being crowded out by Ramsey, you've still got Beasley, you've still got John Brown against whoever their number two cornerback is, and and then obviously throwing Gabe Davis, you've got a fair more options on there, and a little bit more for the Rams defense to cover. I mean,
well, I'm not living on the Bills defense like it was last year. I'm looking at the
Oh,
Bills
no.
defense like it was last week, and the way they use Higbee is the way that Gesicki destroyed us. And I mean, that needs to get fixed. And I don't know, would you want to bring Edmonds and Milano back early because you really want to win this game? Or are you thinking, we'll do what we have. We want them fit for the rest of the season. It's week 3. It's not a must win. When you look at total offensive production, the Rams score on 47.6% of their drives. The Bills 45.5%. We're both 9th and 10th in the league. So if you think, well, the way the stats look, now I know they play their offense differently, but in terms of production, they're as productive as our offense. If you put our offense against our defense, what do you think is going to happen? I think that the
Our offense
offense
against our
beats.
defense.
Yes,
What
exactly.
are
So
we?
that's
Are
what
we?
this game is looking like to me.
Are we talking about our defense without Milano and Edmonds, or
No,
our
I mean,
defense?
what it is now. I mean, what it is now. I mean, even without. I mean, we don't feature tight ends like the Rams do, but if you look at Beasley over the middle, he's going to dissect our weak linebacker core, and that's exactly what the Rams are going to try and do.
Then
One of the most important things that I came across in looking at the Rams is we all talk about their front four and the ability to rush the passer.
Yeah.
So the Rams only blitz at 15%, the Bills at 44%. So they're really at the bottom of the league there. They obviously, like I said, they use their front four with Brockers and Donald to do all the work for them. But with that, their QB pressure rate is only 14.6% of the time. That's 4th worst in the NFL. So we've all seen the stat that Josh is tops in the league against pressure. I imagine the Rams aren't going to pressure Josh Allen. They're going to really load up the secondary and force him to thread a needle. And we know that with his brain, his guts, and his arm, he's going to try and force things. And I think that's going to play into the Rams' strategy here. They allow a 62% pass. The Rams allow a 62% passer rating in the league. That's 8th. The Bills are 10th at 63%. So their pass defense is a little bit better than ours, and that's supposed to be our biggest strength.
No, I mean, if you had a choice, I'll just refer back to your quick early question about do you want to risk Edmonds and Milano for this game? I would, in all honesty, if I had to choose one or both of them, I'd rather have Milano back.
Yeah.
Than Edmonds, because Dodson did well where he could against Miami in his first career start, and that showed a lot of promise. But with Milano, you've got that guy who is going to cover the tight end, who's going to be that play to hopefully eliminate, or not eliminate, what's the word? Not eliminate, neutralize Higbee. And I think if we had him for the Miami game, I don't think Gesicki would have had what he had record-wise.
Yeah, I mean, you want him at full strength, but a hamstring severely limits your ability to get full speed. So I think that even if he comes in, he will be a liability, I think.
That's why I'm hoping that they bring a bit more of the big nickel that they talk about actually doing with Neil. Bring him down, have an extra, even go with two linebackers, and actually bring Ciron Neal in as or Dean Marlowe in as that big safety to cover that tight end. So you're going with the four at the front. You can go with Dodson and whoever if they activate Edmonds, have them two if you're not going to risk Milano, and then have White, Hyde, Poyer, Wallace, and say Ciron Neal in the defense. Tell Ciron Neal, your job is focus on that tight end.
I was thinking we would go one deep safety with Hyde, put Poyer on Higbee, and that way you have Trey White shadowing Woods, and I think White can cover Woods. You have Taron Johnson and Hyde back there shadowing Kupp to stop the deep ball, and then we have Higbee locked down with Poyer, and then we rotate Seal and Syrian Neal and Dean Marlowe in and out. Just because I trust our top end talent more than our depth.
Yeah.
So that's why I would rather have one of the safeties on Higbee instead of a depth corner.
I mean, yeah, okay, yeah, I kind of get that. I mean, Ciron Neal, let's say he was I think I said during camp and all that. That's one that I really thought was going to be a breakout, have a really good, could be a breakout player, and he's shown flashes in and out that he can be that. But I can't understand where you come from there. But this is the good thing about this Sean McDermott defense. We can rotate, we can have different packages and different looks, and it's just how quickly they can adjust to that offense. I mean, the Rams are struggling with a little bit of injuries. We'll have to obviously wait till Sunday at running back. So they may be without Malcolm Brown. They may be without Cam Akers. Their third string. Who's it? Third string, Darrell Henderson.
Yeah. I mean, he put up a really good game last week. So
but then
they have guys that can rotate in and out there.
Yeah. Then who have they got after him?
So I don't know. You, me. I don't know.
Yeah. So
nobody really.
If both Brown and Akers are out, I could see them actually loading the box and actually forcing Goff to go high and to go in the air. Which I don't know if that's now thinking about that, if that's a good thing or a bad thing.
Yeah, I mean, if we were playing the Rams last year, you had a coach who was probably too much in his own head after that Super Bowl loss. They weren't the same team last year. And this year it looks like they got rid of the cobwebs and they put it all together. To argue against myself for 1 point, because I always do this with my wife, where I'll make a point at the beginning of an argument, and then at the end I'm like, oh, wait, I don't really believe anything I just said.
Yeah.
So to do that real quick, it's week 3. All the stats I'm giving are only from 2 games. It's not a real good, accurate snapshot of what a team is. I think team stats, like the ones that I was giving, really only start to materialize and settle in at like week 6 to 8. So everything I said in defense of the Rams beating us could be utter bull, because we don't exactly know who they are yet. And we don't exactly know who we are yet. If Josh can go out there and throw another 300-yard game, if we can get the running game going, and if the defensive secondary can really be what they have been, if we bring the Bills defense from last year and the Bills offense from this year, then I think we beat the Rams. It's just that the Bills defense has looked suspect this year, and the Rams offense is the best offense that we've seen so far this year. So that's why I'm calling it close. I'm saying Rams 27, Bills 21.
That's fair. I mean, I'm still going to go for a Bills win. I'm going to go for. There's going to be a field goal in there, so I feel this is going to be a real. What does Jim Ross say? The WWE commentator.
Slobber knocker. Yeah.
Yeah, it's going to be one slobber knocker of of a game.
Okay.
I think both offenses are going to light it up. I mean, the only thing that we need to worry about defensive wise for the Rams is that this season, Rams are one of two teams that have more interceptions than they do pass touchdowns allowed this
Yep.
season. So that's my only. If you had to say I had a concern, that would be it. But
Yeah. I mean,
I can see,
you look at they played Dallas, and
yeah,
Dallas's pass offense is up there with ours.
mm,
So, um,
yeah.
I mean, that's
I
the
think,
comparison there.
yeah, I think either way, it's hopefully it's going to be a game whether we lose by the odd point here and there, but stay in the game all the way through,
Mhm.
or we go out and completely dominate. It's still going to be a game where people now hopefully stand up and take notice of us, obviously apart from PFF. But
Yeah.
again,
And you were right. In our review show, I said they haven't said anything bad about Josh Allen yet, but then their quarterback grades came out for the week, and he was like, what, like 12th or something? Just
something like that.
disgusting. Just disgusting. They had Darnold scoring a better rating than him. Just awful. But
Yeah,
yeah, like I said, Dallas's offense equates to kind of what our passing offense is, and the Rams were able to beat them, so held
I'm
them to
just,
like 244 passing yards. So if
I'm
that happens again, and that was home for the Rams, but if that happens again, then this game isn't going to be what we want it to be.
yeah.
However, if the Bills offense does stay consistent and like as good as they have shown they can be,
It's only
I
the
think Bills Mafia might literally explode Twitter. We might
yeah.
take over everybody's Twitter feed, everybody's mentions, and just really make the league aware of what we have. And that'll be fun. I mean, I want that to happen. It's just
Mm,
the
I think
Bills of old for me. When I talk about this team, I always say that they can't win these type of games, and I so
yeah,
desperately want to be wrong because everything looks so good this year. Um, this is a
mm,
prove me wrong game. I want to be wrong.
yeah. I think the only things that are going to beat each team up, obviously the Rams with the traveling.
Yep.
Obviously they didn't how they can actually adapt after last week. I mean, who did they play again? They played a what did they play
Last week they
Giant.
were at Philly.
Okay, so they played Philly, who are decent themselves. But obviously got
Not
the
not.
win.
I mean, they've been a mess this year. The Rams put it on them 37-19.
So that's the only thing that really is gonna is a an obstacle. Let's put it that way for the Rams with the Bills. It's getting out in the third quarter.
Yeah.
It's I mean I
Yeah.
discussed this as I told you and to most people when it comes out will listen to it. I was on the Downtown Bills podcast. They recorded it last night. I said with it, it's what's going to kill us is that third is the third quarter. We come out the first two quarters and actually and light it up. Obviously, the defense and we saw with Miami will adjust to that, and it's how quickly can Josh Allen and DeBall actually
Right.
counter that
Yeah.
because as much as everyone loves to see the fourth quarter Josh Allen, the fourth quarter Bills come from behind or come from a closed gap to win it right near the end, it'd be nice just to have that little less pressure on him going into that quarter. So whether it's adjustments or just trying to, or maybe it's the momentum of that second half as a finish, building up momentum, had to go in the locker room for half time for 15, 20 minutes and then come back out. Who knows? But that third quarter is really the concern for the Bills. And if we can manage that, then we'll be actually singing from 3-0. And
I mean, I
I
don't want
really
too much focus to be on just one quarter, though. I mean, they
well
play
yeah.
four of them.
Oh yeah.
Let's not
No
let's
no
not
no no
let's not have a bad 1-2-4 just so we can
no
have a good three.
no exactly. I mean
Yeah.
the
I mean,
other
I'll
other
take
points
a
are
bad
fine.
three if we have a good 1-2-4.
Yeah, so if we have either way, it's just carrying on from the other quarters,
Yeah.
really. That's
Yeah.
all we need to do. And I mean,
I
I
don't know.
want to really do a hot take, but I'm not 100% sure. My only hot take would be
That's the point of a hot take. It goes against all logic and
okay,
so
okay.
do it. I mean, if you're feeling you got us winning, so get hot takes with it. Go.
Hot take is the Bills will be down going into the fourth quarter. Josh Allen will bring us back with the fourth quarter and again throw for over 300 yards. And I predicting that we're going to get a 100 yard rusher.
Okay. I think those two things will really set us up well. If Allen throws for 3 and we have a 100-yard rusher, that means that we in the first 3 quarters we're able to get ahead, and then in the fourth quarter we sealed the game with some big runs from Singletary and Moss. So I
Yeah.
hope you're right, and I hope I'm wrong. And the stats, they always say the stats don't lie, and I hope they do this week.
Yeah, so obviously for all UK fans, it's actually going to be on. It's going to be on Sky Sports, the 6 o'clock game. I know some people are really annoyed because obviously they have it on Game Pass and it'll probably be blacked out. But it's a good chance to obviously showcase the Bills and how they've done the first two games and obviously bring everything up. But what we want to see on game day is your questions for our review show. We want to see your game day selfies. We want to see what you're doing, if you do any sort of tailgating or the food you're actually eating for the game. So that will go up on Twitter. We'll ask for that on Twitter. Follow us on Twitter at UK_Bills, at RWBB_podcast for obviously the podcast. UK_Bills for Instagram, Buffalo Bills UK for Facebook, YouTube channel Buffalo Bills UK, and obviously get subscribing for the goodie pack that Alex has actually put up, and it's I've seen snippets of it. It's actually a good goodie bag worth subscribing and getting your name in the draw for the gift bag. So unless you've got anything else left to add.
No, it's my brother's wedding. I need to go.
So in that case, it's a good morning, good afternoon, a good evening. Thank you for listening. Keep subscribing. And for Alex, this is Matt, and we say go Bills.
Go Bills.